This is a vertical slice for the purpose of showcasing moment-to-moment gameplay in a... I couldn't read all of that. Vah. Oh, beta skip. I won't. I want to see the pixel art. I don't know if this is taking me to a menu screen, admittedly. It might be. It is. I had to check. Hello, Internet, and welcome to another demo playthrough for a Kickstarter title. I've got to admit, every time I cover a Kickstarter in some way, shape or form, I'm always like, they need to make sure that they put out a demo so that people have got an idea of what the gameplay is going to be like, etc, etc, etc. Thing is, I've been following the devs, I think, Solo, I believe, of the Kraino is weird. There was a kind of prequel-y thing, because the original intention, I believe, and I'm not scripting this or anything, clearly, it was originally going to be a Metroidvania. And they did Kickstarter, and they didn't get funded, and they turned what they got into kind of a straightforward-y, platform-y type thing, I think, to try and get maybe some money or what have you, I don't know. But whatever the case, there is now another Kickstarter. It's gone live today, and I've actually backed it already, because I backed the original one, I believe. I think that's right. I could be talking shit. It wouldn't be the first time. But I really like the art style. There's not many games that you get to play as big old skeleton in a top hat with a scythe. So, tis what it is. And here we are. It's got this lovely kind of SNES style graphics. I don't know how well it's going to control, because I've had to... The demo, weirdly enough, isn't on Steam. It's through itch.io, but I've had to put it on Steam because I obviously use a DualSense controller, and that doesn't tend to be recognised outside. I must admit, I didn't check, but the fact that it's got controller there with, an Xbox pad, it strikes me as... One thing I am noting is no map. And that is something that I have said. If you're going to go for a Metroidvania, you kind of want fire with me. What am I firing? Oh, I've got a revolver in the top left-hand corner, which apparently I reload by hitting things. Drop down. Yes, I can do that. If hurt, left trigger to heal. I'm not hurt. But as you can see, the pixel art is very nice indeed. There's a little bit of a scoot forwards. If you hit something in midair and then land, you slide forward ever so slightly. Dash power has been assigned to the right trigger, as it should be. This is very much a personal preference thing. We don't seem to have a stamina bar, so... Ooh. That was a terrible shot. Yes. In terms of the kind of art presentation, yes, this is very much kind of tickling an itch, isn't it? Don't know whether I think too much of the music yet. Bounce off enemies in the air. A pogo mechanic, you say? An infinite pogo mechanic, it seems. We have potentially... Oops. thing there. Yeah, there's a little bit of momentum after you've hit an enemy in the air, which I'm not super fond of. Just seeing if we've got a map hidden away somewhere, but it doesn't seem like we do. Zombies! This mist here reminds me of the Mummy Demastered. And oh, hello! Wasn't expecting that. Okay, that's our heal. No Gravestalker. We've got an interesting... Well, we don't have an upwards attack. And in fact, weirdly enough, if we are pressing up and attack, it just doesn't do anything at all. That feels kind of weird. I don't know whether it's because we're going to get an upwards attack. Oops. I wanted to pogo off his head. Oh, that didn't work. Sound effects on the gun are nice. Okay, we're not interacting with those just yet. Something flicketh. I'm not getting through there. Something's down here though. Giant stone block. Can I push? No. Oh, I'm not doing very well with the pogoing. Oops. Or the platforming, actually. Just in general. Yeah, just that little bit of movement when you hit something in the air. Kind of arcs you down and moves you forward slightly rather than just dropping you, and it actually feels really weird. Boss. Challenge room? Ah. Bzzz. Oh, I haven't quite got enough to heal with. It would be nice if it made it clear. Key! Yeah, it'd be nice if it made it clearer how much you need in order to use your heal. Say a notch on the bar or something along those lines. And open. And power. Fire Fist. Ah, that's why. Because we're going to get an ability. Smash boost blocks with up and X. Yeah, that feels... Ooh. Yeah, it feels kind of weird until we get that. I like the fact that they're now coloured in because we've got the appropriate Metroidvania traversal ability. Doesn't use up MP as far as I can tell. Now we can get over here. Golem punch, right bumper. Crunch. Yeah, that explains why. We actually feel like we might have a good chunk of there's potentially something down there. But I've got no. But I need spell power for that, don't I? Ugh. Yeah, okay. Ooh, we do have. I like the fact that you can hit the fireballs out of the air. Oh, you can just break those blocks. Hold on. You can. Scythe Demajen. Nice. Probably have the chest stay open after you've looted it. Mind you, its eyes don't glow anymore, do they? In terms of how does the kind of general control feel? Feels great. Feels great. I think the only concern that I have in terms of the... Okay, you can chain dashes as long as you... As long as you hit something in the air to do so. Yeah, my only concern is that slightly weird scoot that happens if you hit things in the air. Oh, that's a wall. And obviously there is there's no map in a Metroidvania demo. Alright, and now... Aha! Yeah, and it does feel a little bit on the easier side of things right now, but chat shit. But again, it's a vertical slice. It's not designed to be horrendously off-putting right now. It's like, oh, this is a super challenging experience, which only 3% of people who find it on the Kickstarter are actually going to back because of it. Oh! Oh! Rotten apple? Yeah, we've got a fair number of different enemies. Admittedly, all of them seem to be one-shottable right now. The Watcher watches Callous Cod? Oh, they've got... shite. There we go. Yeah, the pixel art is great. The colour palette choice is good. I think the music is a little bit on the weaker side, but it is what it is. Oh, you took more than one hit. I do wonder if the bats that fly out from us when we get hits. You dare enter my forest? I wasn't aware the forest belonged to anyone. You mind telling me who gave it to you? Must be nuts. Wicked Willow rules all. What? Tree. Oh God. I think I see the root of the problem. Oh, you're a boss. Well, I cocked that up. Nice, you can actually skip. The pogo is oddly difficult to pull off. Oh, okay. Ah. Noops. Like that, Wicked Willow. The death of the Wicked Willow was a little bit anticlimactic. Could do with some kind of explosion-y type thing. But otherwise... Max life up. Redstown? What's called that? You didn't see that. Ahem. Okay, you can tech out of falling with the dash, which is nice. Yeah, we get a good chunk of maneuverability. I assume we might not get this much this quickly in the full game. Oh, dear. Kind of interesting that the room resets. When you take a fall. No. What's that done for us? Oh. Well, in terms of can you make sure the way to go is obvious? Yes. There was one who could walk on fire. I don't know what use that would be for us here. That's clearly not fire. Gargoyle turrets. We need a key. Nice. I was hoping that would do that, and it did. God! Is that supposed to be callous as in hard-hearted? Because that's not spelled like that. Nice. So those have collision with the enemies. Oh, it's a white skeleton snake thing. Sorry, a chain biter. What are they actually called in Castlevania? Oh, they've got some distance on them. Distance? Range. I know what I meant. Yeah, in terms of, does this give a reasonable sense of what they're going for? Yes. Yes, it does. Yeah, controls feel good. Oh, hello. Gigant gore. What do we have here? A puny little skeleton trying to act tough, huh? At least this little skeleton isn't stuck guarding this stinky sewer. I can see why you're all steamed up. Ah, Master said this was a very important, dignified position. Nothing dignified about duty. I grow tired of words. It's time to end you. You pose? Oh dear. Yeah, okay, so the respawning needs a little bit of work, but that's fine. Right, we don't have a duck, so... Oh, that's... Ah. Yeah, so respawning needs some work, but otherwise, I would like to have the option of advancing the text for myself. Oops. Okay, we can't do that. Ah. Gotcha. Yep, that was decent enough. A little bit easy to pogo him to death, but it is what it is. A key. So, I assume in the kind of actual version of this would have save points or something like that. These things are surprisingly challenging to... Oh! I thought you died. Surprisingly challenging to deal with. Skill issue, I know. Speaking thereof. Yeah, some way of telling when you have enough heal juice would be super useful. But otherwise, the system works fine. Shouldn't there be a door over here? Yes, and open! Okay. Got another... Another biome example. Stuff is starting to do more damage. Pixel art is super cool. Use dash blocks. Oh, okay. You don't use dash blocks like that, though, do you, Demajen? You have to dash into the dash block in order to use it. That's why it's called a dash block. Yeah, that feels decent enough. I'm having to do everything with the D-pad because it doesn't recognise the left stick. I could probably configure it, but you tell me. Yeah, see, this is why I want to be able to advance this text for myself. I think I'd also prefer it at the bottom of the screen. There's been Kraino Rebirth. Oh, we have a Kickstarter. Thank you for the support. End of demo. Yeah. I think there's a lot of potential here. I thought there was a lot of potential originally. I still think there is a lot of potential. Controls are 95% of the time great. I'm a little bit concerned about that kind of feeling of if you hit an enemy in the air, when you land, you kind of scoot forwards a little bit. I think that's what's happening. Something feels ever so slightly off about it. Not deal-breaking or anything like that, but enough to be noticeable. The pixel art is great. The enemies are, even in what we've seen so far, varied enough. Hopefully that's a small percentage of what there'll be in the actual game, as opposed to, oh, you've seen all the enemy types now. That would kind of suck. But if this is just, like 10% or whatever, we've already seen a good, probably 8 or 10 different enemy types, possibly a little bit more than that. We've got a variety of biomes, which is nice. In terms of concerns, oops, that's me hitting my microphone, that's concerning. In terms of concerns, I think the music could do with a bit more. I think it could maybe lean into the kind of baroque, gothic, chiptune metal, which is, kind of what you're thinking of, but it's not quite there. It feels a little bit too samey. It could do with a little bit more variety in terms of pace and tempo and intonation and so on and so forth. It's not that it's flat, it's just that it sounds a bit loop, if that makes any sense. But music costs money, and that's probably what the Kickstarter's for. But yeah, in terms of what it's going for, I think the demo does a pretty decent job of showcasing that. Let's take a look at the Kickstarter page. So, the Kraino Rebirth Kickstarter, steel thy scythe and lock and load, for the endless hordes of evil descend upon you in this pixel art Metroidvania. That's the other thing that I mentioned earlier on, didn't I? There's no map. There's no map in the demo. There's no even indication of what the map will look like. This is something that I criticised quite a number of indie devs for. If you are going to do Metroidvania, make sure you show at least something map-wise. It doesn't need to stay that way. It can be something that you revisit later in terms of how it looks or what have you. But, and don't get me wrong, I know this is a vertical slice and therefore you'd have to create a map just for the vertical slice demo. But if you consider that games like Voidrot did it, a game that's not actually Kickstarter backed as far as I know, they just said, yeah, we're going to do a vertical slice demo. Here's the map for it. This is what we're going for with the map. I always feel like things should do this, especially because money is tight. Metroidvania as a genre is horrendously saturated. You gotta have something that is unique, that stands out, but that looks like the package for what people are expecting. Now, in terms of does this stand out? Yeah, in terms of it's got good pixel arts, it's got a somewhat interesting protagonist in terms of its cartoony visuals and so on and so forth. It feels for the most part, really good to control. But is it seeming like a Metroidvania based on what we've seen? It could. I mean, it's not going. It's not a right. No, it's not a left to right side scroller. So there are clearly rooms. There are clearly powers. So it's clearly got many of the trappings of the Metroidvania, but it's not showing us the map. I understand why devs don't want to spend time creating a map system just for their vertical slice demos. I do understand. I feel like it's worth doing anyway. But I'm not a developer, and I don't know how long that would take. I just know that as somebody who wants to back your Kickstarter, it is something that would, impress me if it weren't for the fact that I've already backed the game. So they've got a £13,500 goal, which is not a huge amount realistically. It's only just gone live. You've got until the 14th of October, so it's a literal month from today. I'd say that's very, very doable, but keep in mind that the big bulk of Kickstarter stuff is at the start, when it goes live. Yes, there tends to be a rush towards the end as well, so I'm told, but the big kind of push is towards the start. Let's take a look at the actual rest of the page. So we've got some nice artwork to go with it. We've got almost straight away, look, demo. You can go and try a demo of our Kickstarter, which is what you've just seen me play. I think that is absolutely imperative for any kind of indie dev these days. It's a vertical slice demo as well, which is nice. Gives you an opportunity to try some early-ish game items and powers, but maybe at a more condensed pace. You can go and try it. It's on itch, which is an odd choice. Why it's not on Steam, I don't know, but there it is. From the creator of Kraino Origins, a monster-filled action-packed Metroidvania with secrets, magic, in a beautiful pixel art world. Come join us on this skeletal adventure. See, I'd agree with this. I really like the art style for this. Hand-drawn Metroidvania that will focus strongly on exploration, immersive combat, creating a rich, lush world and storytelling. Plan is to release on Steam, PC, Nintendo, Sony and Microsoft consoles. Meticulously handcrafting every single art asset, every frame of animation. Even our rocks will be amazing. So we've got our platforms, inspirations, Super Metroid, Mega Man. That's Zelda 2, isn't it? The Adventure Link. Shovel Knight and Simon's Quest, which is quite the spread of inspirations. Let's be fair. There's a press kit, which they get a big thumbs up from me for, because I hate making video thumbnails, and if you give me a press kit, even for your Kickstarter, it makes it easier for me to say, hey, look, this is a demo I tried for a Kickstarter that I backed. I'm not being paid for this, incidentally. There's no sponsorship or what have you. What have you? What have you? I'm so British. Or what have you? This is just something I appreciate as vaguely as a content creator. You can go wishlist on Steam, follow the devs on X, which I've been doing. Kraino Rebirth is everything you loved about Origins, but dialed up to 11. See, I don't recall playing Origins because it was a side scroller, and I wasn't super interested in that. When it was a Metroidvania, it was like, yeah, but I vaguely recall that's the way. That's the way it worked. I do like that, dropping blocks on the heads. These are all bits and pieces from the actual demo that you can go and play, which is nice. Maybe there could be a little bit more in terms of, and here are some other things, but mind you, there's lightning and stuff there, and daggers, so I spoke too soon. That looks like it freezes them. That's nice. That's a ground smash, which we haven't had yet. So actually, ignore that, because I clearly wasn't paying enough attention to the GIFs. We've got some nice hand-drawn bits and pieces. I quite like those as an enemy. Nice animations on those. We take pixel art seriously. Stretch goals haven't been put on here at all yet, which is interesting. Kraino Origins got 9 out of 10. 8 out of 10 on Steam. 76% on Metacritic. Very respectable for a 2D pixel art platformer. We've got some stuff about the dev. We've got the different kind of backer tiers, which you can look through yourself. These all look a little bit weird, I think possibly because I've bumped up the size of the zoom just so you can see stuff. It probably isn't scaling very well because it's all done in pixel art. But there's a lot of different bits and pieces. That's how the budget is being broken down. Previous Kraino games were self-funded. Yeah. And the usual stuff. So that is the Kraino Rebirth Kickstarter. Let's take a look at the trailer. Very atmospheric. Very atmospheric environments. Obviously, we're going to want some variety, but we saw a little bit of that in the demo. Yeah, we've got the magma, we've got the poison mist, we've got a really kind of surprisingly bright colour palette for such dark colours. There's that kind of almost retro, I don't want to say toxic vibe to it, but a heavy saturation. I'd definitely like to be able to advance text myself as opposed to it automatically advancing. I think I saw a grapple point there as well. I think this is all stuff from the... I know there's some bits and pieces that we didn't get. Sliced. Yes, in terms of, do I think it's worth backing? Well, yes, obviously, otherwise I wouldn't have backed it myself. But the demo has helped cement that idea. Yeah, see, I think that's the tree needed something along those lines as well. Just that little bit of, he's dead, blah, blah, blah. The project is at 13% at the time of recording of its goal. 42 backers, 30 days to go. If that looks like your cup OT, then there are plenty of different backer tiers, as there tends to be, including ones where you can, you know, add an NPC to the game and do all manner of bits and pieces. I very rarely back those kinds of things because I as you've probably noticed from my YouTube channel, I'm more of a quantity over quality person. No, that's not strictly true, but I like to play a lot of different games. In order to do that, I need to put my money in towards that as opposed to just being a really hefty backer in one game. So that's the way I roll. But Kraino Rebirth Kickstarter is live 13th of September, Friday the 13th of September, of all things. I can't talk for much longer because my voice is still a wreck. So, let me know down below. Did my video convince you in some way, shape or form to back Kraino Rebirth? Or did you do the much more sensible thing and go and play the demo for yourself to see? Let me know down below. Give me some of that sweet, sweet engagement or whatever. Either way, thank you very much for watching and taking the time to watch through what I have done for today. Catch you all later. Stay safe. Stay fabulous. Cheerio. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.